Hey everybody, good morning. Don't worry. Don't worry about me. Just taking a minute to peddle my wares. To hopefully someday I understand Nithrum. I'm with you. I have my computer has ascended from potato to potato chip. It's roughly the same starting point. We just kind of fried it up a little bit, and now it just looks more pristine. Doesn't really feel as pristine as it probably should be. We sell all our stuff. We have 19K. That's almost a punch roll, dude. So, looking upon ascending to. Nope. It's ascending to our potential balance. We are at a, like, extreme lack of radiance. Big surprise. I don't think it's in my best interest to try to buy them. It's just a lot of money, man. I don't know if I can stomach that. But I think I'm going to try Dreams and Nightmares just because I haven't done it in a while. And having a third weapon slot, thank you, by the way, Mr. Chris. Appreciate the donation. It's going to help us, I believe, accelerate that process. Thunderball. I think Z-Cores. Z-Cores are always like... Remember I accepted a donation of this before, but now it's just like extreme to the nth degree. So what are we selling stuff for now? I don't know. Potential punch rolls. I guess we should get another 400 energy. We should get another 100 or 300. So 700. 400 for when we make our next item, because we're just going to be continually progressive when it comes to that. And 300 for our next slots. I'm not going to assume I will have enough wealth to afford. Oh crap! Did I click update? Why would I do that? That'd be crazy. To afford a constant, like, influx of a third weapon slot. That's just luxury. That is just pristine quality. I don't have that kind of money. You got the money, honey. You got the time. Anyway. So the difference between 2 weapon slots and 3 when I do Dreams and Nightmares, and that's just me, is this. I'm not even kidding. Holy choppy Batman. That just looks rough. Maybe give him a minute. Something else is going on, man. There's all Discord. Get out of here. I don't know why Discord... It's a little better, at least on my end. I shot up to 10 frames a second. Alright. So let us... the benefit about Dreams and Nightmares is that... doesn't demand a whole we're not playing solo. We believe in a thing called love. We believe in parties. We believe in helping each other out. So the Winter Grave is obviously the powerhouse in this combo. I could go like Graviton Bomb, which I always think about. But I don't. Out of the sleep one, it's always good. But I think I just need straight damage output. Now, the reason I have this is just because I get so impatient when it comes to the Wolvers, and I don't have an Acheron, right? If you got an Acheron, who needs a Winter Grave just to go freaking Acheron? And you basically just dominate this whole level. Got money already. Just kidding. Cut stuff back. So anyway, yesterday, I remember we were talking about ethics. I went through, I think William Paley, something like that. I'll give it like 2 seconds. Nethrum, would you like to come? If I were Nethrum, what would I be doing? Talking in the third person, attempting to dominate some lockdown. Well, here we go, I suppose. Let's look at some one-on-one time. Stand by. I got criticized by the family members that be for buying this little beanie bag chair that I got here. I can understand why. It was probably not the best investment I've ever made in my life. Is that ridiculously loud to anybody else? Besides me. Anyway. Hopefully, so I heard that the shadow layers are, but my mic's not close enough to me. I think that's the issue. I heard that the shadow layers are a lot harder than they used to be. I have not jumped in one yet. Just due to the nature of, me streaming and me only able to play like in the morning. I don't know how often I'll be able to rock one of those out like we used to. But I'll certainly give it a shot. How hard could it be? I mean, we got bubbles on our pipe. The game just continues to get better with our happy eyes. So, on Kant, looking at these philosophers throughout the years, one of the things that, diving into philosophy does is it gives you like a roadmap of general thought. How did we get to so it went from modernism to postmodernism. Now we're in a post-Christian era. That's what a lot of the current philosophers kind of put where our system of thought is in America. So how did we get to that point? Like the general human thought that's been preached, the sum total of, like, you take the what am I doing? The classwork, the general classwork stuff that is assigned, that is taught in schools. Those are your politics of the next generation. We're seeing that now. All right, people my age in politics and stuff like that, and secularism, you don't know, and trusting in just your feelings, the whole self-image, it's all about self, and the anti-bullying things. There's nothing wrong with anti-bullying in itself. Excuse me. You just gotta be careful that you're not teaching people to be freaking wussies. Okay, it's after the fire thing. Oop, keep going. Like, for instance, I have a 2-year-old daughter. I have a 7-year-old daughter. So this, again, if abstract thought is not, like, popped into reality and given a reason that we should act on top of just the abstract thought, then what is the point? So, teaching people to be wussies, someone else will take care of your problems. Don't worry, the government will take care of your problems. If you have a grievance, well, then your music you listen to tells you not to trust the government, so who do you go to? Then you get the sense of, like, deserved false respect, where the government owes you something, or somebody owes you something, and they should respect you, even though you have not earned any type of position whatsoever. I'm getting way off topic. Anyway, teaching my kids not to be wussies. So my 2-year-old and my 7-year-old, I said, I teach them this. If anybody pushes you, push them back. Then tell the teacher. You need immediate pushback on people being a bully or people going after victims, right? You need that kind of immediate pushback, especially if they violate your space and your person. Even as a kid, because what that teaches you is that, first off, this is why we have this. First off, it teaches you that you are more valuable than just, what they say you are. Secondly, it teaches you have the strength to overcome. Thirdly, like when we teach self-defense classes, we teach, rightly so, that bullies or stalkers go after the weakest victims. So, like, the first couple things we teach, we don't even go over the self-defense. We go over theory. How do you walk, specifically lady self-defense? How do you walk? How do you present yourself? As a man, do you walk into the room, like, scowling at everybody? Probably not the best idea. Even if you have that kind of demeanor, if you're going for a self-defense route, if you're really interested in defending yourself, freaking things. If that's really your goal, self-preservation, seeking a fight, well, maybe self-defense class isn't for you. You should just be a self-offense class, go learn how to beat people up or something. I don't know, man. But you have to teach this kind of stuff. People will learn. Kant basically says goodness is self-referencing. You can see it in itself. I forget. It's been so long. Is there a key down there? No. So, anyway, on topic of game, right? Mike should not drain any more of my heat. I'm not as concerned as heating our potential Valance as I am about getting, radiance. So we're going to see if the radiance in this level has stayed the same or increased. I haven't read. I know I stay on forums, but forums itself will critique anything to the nth degree. Like, I honestly, I can't even trust Rotten Tomatoes to give me good movie reviews. Because people, I believe, don't even know how to enjoy a good movie anymore. Like, for instance, the Crystal Skull. Was it the most pristine, philosophical, adventure and satisfying, and had drama and tears? No. But it was a solid movie, dude. It is a watch. It was okay. Indiana Jones is like 90. He makes like a rope swing, and immediately gets punished for it because he's like, that's not as far as I thought it was. Then it has him like beating up this other guy who's like 20 years younger than him. So, but you gotta take that for what it is. So the way we got from that train of thought is you have these ideas that are in your schools being taught. So you take God out of the equation, right, in your schools and secularism, at least in America. And what do you replace it with? Well, if nothing is there, you go to a self-referencing America. This place is all about me. It's all about my happiness. Kant actually argues in his thing about ethics that is the like counter to ethics is selfish happiness. And I rightly agree. Because that's how Bertrand Russell in his godless philosophy actually says that that's the good thing. I know I keep referencing Bertrand Russell. He's my go-to atheist. I could do Richard Dawkins, but honestly his credit on philosophy is not very high. Like, basically, ask anybody. He wrote a very popular book, but a lot of people who hate things usually have a loud voice. The squeaky wheel gets the grease, right? If you go toward the loudest voice all the time, you're not gonna get. You're gonna feel passion for sure, but you're not really gonna get the maybe the best take on stuff. I probably should be single switch. You know what? I should probably learn how with this ball mouse I got. I have decent amount of RAM, and because I can stream and stuff is not skipping. And she was just freaking taking that. You know what? Come over here. Does this count as I'm shooting at you? No, there has to be nothing in there. Oh, I keep thinking they're going to teleport. They do not work that way. Brain. Help me. Oh, right into the eyeball. Beautiful. So far, so good. I mean, see, the alternative is I could have taken a strike needle. I didn't really... I mean, I have the 4-star. It's sitting in my inventory somewhere. But for some reason in my mind, I'm thinking they were teleporting. But this, they don't dodge or anything. They just take it on the chin. I'm okay with that. We'll have to throw the magma driver once in a while just to clear out some of the eyeballs. Did we finally do it? Okay, good. Key? Yes. And then we go west. Kant has some really interesting thoughts. He assumes, like in his talks, he assumes goodness. He assumes morality. He assumes like it's inextricably bound to your character as a person, and it's self-referencing. So Kant actually goes the other way from Paley, yeah, where he gets morality from theology. Kant actually gets theology from morality. He has this sense in his mind that morality is written on our hearts. There's a universal good. So he doesn't define what it is, but he says it's there, and this is one way you can go to an absolute. If there's an absolute moral, then God exists. It has to, because it is written on everybody. I'll use this. There we go. No need to switch from our little stick. So I kind of agree with him there. This is where you get into different definitions of culture. The best analogy I always had was, you have a short man, right? He's short. He's 4 feet tall. 4'1". All right, he's still short. Excuse me. 4'2". Like, when exactly does he become a tall man? That's I think, different in cultural sins and morality and things that are taken for granted, things that are assumed okay. Pardon me. Wrong one. So he doesn't try to describe what morality is, what is good and what is, but he uses the reference point of, it does exist. A sense of oughtness is in every person, and he uses that in a very clever way. So I was a little, I'm not gonna say put back. What's a good word for it? I had a little bit of wariness when coming with Kant because he went backwards. I go for evidence-based faith on why to believe what I did, but at the same time, he does a very good job of taking the philosophical approach on why you should believe what you believe. Philosophy, like, you should... Like, there was one there. I just could not see it. Takes the philosophical approach and eventually arrives at it from a sense of oddness. C.S. Lewis does this too. But he also strongly points to a point at, the evidence in fact and in Scripture. And that is, and you can look at it from the other perspective, like, through history, sense of oddness has always been written on man. We just have an account in Genesis, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, and Kant actually gets into that too, later on when he's talking about ethics, because in order for, happiness to exist, it has to come from something outside of this life, because if we just, how did he put it exactly? If we just, have happiness itself, well then the happiness will just be defined by any little instinctual thing that gives us gratification and pleasure in this life. We don't have an immortality of the soul, but he advocates strongly for immortality, because you can't have a sense of growth. We all have eternity written in our hearts. I strongly believe this, because you'll talk about tomorrow. You'll just keep going. You'll say things like, how he's grown. Oh, jeez. Things that actually reference themselves outside of time. Everybody does this. I'm surprised it took that long. I can't believe I've been here in this working environment for so long. Know what I mean? It does kind of hit it off to... It does apply itself. So our flesh is here in this mortal coil, but our mind is definitely not. I know, actually... On reflection, I think these videos I make when I start talking about stuff like this, it does the same thing. I kind of go from the point of philosophy to, eventually to a sense of Christ. Now we haven't really made it there yet. I don't travel that route. One thing I try to do, it's not my job. Somebody yesterday say God doesn't exist. Change my mind. Well, that's not my job to convince you to be a Christian, to convince you of my theological beliefs. I will give you strong evidence. Pardon me, this is not the weapon I need. I will give you strong evidence, if possible. But that's about the extent of what I can do. I keep thinking I hear a cat, but honestly, it might be a mouse. Because he did catch a mouse the other day. Alright, we're good. Beautiful. Winter Grave is like the ultimate domination of this level. Blah blah. Use your map, genius. You know where they are. I know I was given a tip that you can add rather take away the black visual effects. I think that kind of takes away from Dreams and Nightmares. It's meant to be played this way. Why not play it this way? If you can do it, if you can train your mind to glaze over the blatant visuals, what this? Oh, we need a heart. What this reminds me of is, actually, they do a great job of this in, Adventure Time. So when Finn is in outer space, and it's when your mind and body start to be deprived of oxygen. Now, everybody's different when it comes to this kind of thing. Astronauts will tell you this. You must learn to recognize your own symptoms when it comes to oxygen deprivation. There we go. I did it. It was a big word. Mine is, I don't lose any coherence, I just can't see. My sight is the first thing to go. And then eventually my mind will just give up, because that's how things are. So I can tell you this because, being in the martial arts field for so long, I know when I'm gonna pass out, and they're kind of on par with themselves. Instead of the blatant thing of being deprived of oxygen is just that you're gonna start choking. Those eyeballs. You don't get the choking feeling if you're about to pass out. So you can take that, the lack of oxygen, even though it's coming okay to your throat, but it's being knocked out is the point of the brain losing oxygen. So if you're getting strangled or whatever, doing your jujitsu, your grappling, your andori, that kind of thing, it's it would be roughly the same. But I do know my vision goes first. That being said, I can act the exact same just about if I'm under the influence of alcohol. I will be like the most coherent dude you will know, and then suddenly I'll be blackout drunk. Like, I'll be just literally unable to do anything. There's no like gradual slope. It's just excuse me, something hit me. We need to get that heart. Go get him. There we go. Really am a fan of that. I am and I'm not, because it seems a little bit cheap. But as long as you have 2 hearts, you can't be one-shotted. I mean, it's a lot of fun and Risk of Rain. Maybe not so in here. No, but I do like the way Kant goes, and his way of going toward. I was wary of him to begin with, but I like how he uses philosophy to get toward that sense of ought. Oughtness does exist. It's tough to argue that it does not. He also uses oughtness to argue for free will, and he does it. Actually, an example I've used a couple times. I've honestly never read Kant. I've read about him a lot, but this is my first time reading his direct, quotations, that kind of thing. With the sense of like a thief, modern psychology believes they have they've ascended because they got rid of the word sin. It's no longer sin. It's because of your DNA. What happens because if you just go that route, that's because of your DNA. Well, then you get rid of a sense of obligation. You get rid of the sense of you can possibly overcome anything. It's not my fault. I was born this way. It's not my fault. My circumstances led me here. It's not my fault. My DNA. It's not my fault I'm short. It's not my fault I'm ugly. It's not my fault I'm not rich. Somebody owes me something. That's when you get you mix that plus the whole self-hyphenated sin of America. You deserve not to be bullied. You are special. But then it's not my fault when I'm not. And you can use this to negotiate your way out of actually working for a living. It's kind of sad. It's like you need to really take a broad perspective of this stuff too, because this is the anti-bullying classes that are taught. So a lot of this stuff you need to be taught by parents. You need to have that one-on-one interaction. But now we've bred a culture where the government wants to take control of all your kids, take care of everything, inoculate them with every single thing known to man, and have the 2-parent household working. Heaven forbid we a single working family. But that's also in combination with the there's a lot of things that go into this. Life is complex, man, and sitting here and thinking you'll get a whole understanding of it, you're just you're treating yourself, you're setting yourself up for failure. But at the same time, you want to do well, right? Not many people wake up throughout the day and be like, yo, I want to suck. It just doesn't happen too much. We need to fire the magma. There we go. So just get here and beat up another wolver. I mean, they start barking. That's when you get them. Mike, you've done it. Did you see that shot? He missed every one of them. Right in the center. They just cleared out. You're doing a great job, Mike. So it seems like so far this is just as, ridiculous. Not ridiculously. Just as confusing as it was before. Let's hope. My wish would be that the payout gets better. But that'd be, wishful thinking. Bam. He was right there. Now, this is when I gotta take assessment of myself. I was such a strong advocate for not using auto-target for so long. And now I don't, play Lockdown ever. Because the game just makes me mad. And now I still don't use auto-target. Am I gonna take it to the nth degree out of the principle of the thing? I feel it's so bad, even it's not even fair to use against the monsters, who are a dime a dozen and mindless. I think yes. I think that's where I'm gonna go with this. Because I haven't used it for so long, I'm kind of like, eh. I mean, I can kind of aim at them. I know where. Well, technically, it depends where they are. Sometimes you're gonna aim above their heads. Oh no! Oh no! We cross beams. Okay, good. Almost had to use the poker to just bash him out of my way. Dude, I actually took notes on Kant. I usually don't take notes on stuff. Last thing I took notes on was, well, besides the fellowship reading I'm doing, the fellows program reading I'm doing, C.S. Lewis stuff's, it's pretty awesome. And when you're doing, like, you're writing different term papers based on a specific book article, you want to reference the book, right? That makes a lot of sense. Probably a good idea to take notes. So I do that, but when it comes to like casual reading for information, which I guess I can say this, the only other casual reading I do is like R.A. Salvador's like Dritz books and Way of Kings, R.A. Stanford, David Eddings, like, you know, fantasy writers, and like, why would you ever take notes on a book like that? They're meant to be enjoyed, so enjoy them. You know, it's like trying to promote the dietary value of a candy cane. I mean, you could, but I mean, I think it's just meant to be a candy cane, man. You eat it and you enjoy it. The sugary goodness that comes with a, you know, a little minty stick, right? We did it, dude. That was easier than I thought. That's what happens when you have a poker. The power you get just transcends time and reality. Anyway, let's head on down. Elaine was just as helpful as she always is. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Take this moment to caffeinate. And I can look at my notes now. As we wait for this text to fly by. Kant does say two things that always boggle him, which you'll never get answers for with ultimatum. Two things that always send him in awe, and that's the starry heavens above and the moral law within. He stresses the importance of associating an act with a person, which is all good. All good that quantifies, inspires pride, except for will. So, wow, that was really profound when I read it. I'm like, that's really amazing. This guy was definitely a professional thinker. Right, let's do a radiant count. So far, so good. Better than 0. So, and you can, this is again, because we all start at the same grounds, right? We all start as children. We work our way up. And my child has such goodwill when she takes the milk out of the fridge, attempts to pour it herself, and spills it everywhere. I mean, she has great intentions. Her execution's not so good, but her intentions are great. That is goodness of will, right? Good intentions. She wishes to succeed. You know, 2-year-olds, especially. This is non-thinking kids. They don't wake up saying, man, I'm going to go deceive my neighbor. No, I'm just going to wake up and be a kid. I'm going to learn. I'm just going to kind of run through life here. Thank goodness we got a health pill at the end. So what do we get? So good could be associated with will without being quantified. When you associate good and quantify it, putting a worth on an action, 24 radiance. That's not so bad. Hello, cat. Are you barking at me again? I see that. You are being you. You are fuzzy. You're on the ground. You're purring. Once you start, like, that guy is good at his job. That is a good amount of money. Once you start quantifying it, you can eventually lead yourself to pride. Because, well, sorry, if you associate directly to a person. So, saying, like a large amount of money is kind of good. But you're saying his karate skills are good, or he's really good at programming. Well, that eventually, because you're glorifying a person, you're putting, worth to their skill. And that can lead to comparison. Like, my skill's better than your skill. How many radiants do we have? Like, I should really not use any, because I want freaking Valence to get a high. Y'all. Anyway. Pardon me. That's a punch roll. Dude, what would I even punch? Probably that. But, like, the only reason I was punching this anyway is for lockdown, so I probably not. Elemental medium. How about the helmet? Just because we use this stuff so often, that is just about the most garbage roll ever. Let's go with our chaos hat. You know, we'll hold off. I hear you meowing. Got my lap here. You can sit in my lap if you want. Don't feel like you're ostracized over there next to the little tiny foot-tall pink chair without her, like, sitting in. Alright, so what else could we do here? I still got a couple minutes. Let's do the prestige. We can jump in there. Bad Luck and Brimstone seems pretty good. I just gotta check right. No way. Why would... Yeah, you know, I spent like 30 hours making a Halo driver. Let's just get 300 prestige, which is worth absolutely nothing except for quantifiable pride, right? We were just talking about that. All right, let's go. Let's go. I don't know what I'm really looking for. We can get the ancient pages. I'm just kind of going for heat. We do have to get our blaster to level 10, so we might as well do it in a productive manner. Let's see. I'm just trying to go over my con stuff to see if there's anything else I want to share that's really amazing. He assumes we have free will. We all have a moralist in us. Because we use words oftentimes pointing toward the good. You know, sense of obligation. You ought to do this. And this is referenced within this life. All right, let's see here. I can't really switch shoot if I want. My thing. I'll probably stay with Chaos. Keep the Master Blaster. That's part of town. Probably should go with yeah. And let's just do the trifecta, man. There we go. I only have charge time low, so probably change this to our trinket to sword damage. Beautiful, because we're going to be doing most of the work with this. Sleep bomb will be alright. I don't know, I forget if zombies fall asleep or not. I think the cats do. No, I don't know. We'll find out, right? And charge time for my bomb. Well, why did my health just go up there? It's weird. Maybe I had to click on him to have the new thing enact. I'm not too sure. Anyway, give me that bomb focus. I think that'll help. As opposed to having extra. Hello! There, I muted myself. Lashadki. It's my connection. Oh, the cat! You sat on them. Stop barking. You're a cat. You're not a dog. It's this little cat chirps now when he wants attention. Morality itself first discovers freedom. Morality requires us to think freedom without contradiction, not understanding. So that makes sense, right? When you have a sense of oughtness. Did you just... Okay, good. When you have that sense of oughtness. Hypocrisy. When you... He came back, I just didn't see him. Hypocrisy, when you go toward that sense of oughtness, is like the most taboo thing, right? You want to have a life, a moral life, if you choose to, like, go toward one. Have a life free of contradiction. I just stood there and freaking took it, because I'm a man. He was asleep. I was correct. What martial arts movie would be fun without the sound effects? Yep, and now we're dead. Right onto the spikes. Burnt to death. And then I leapt on the spikes. Alright, let's not embarrass ourselves any further than we have to. It is on my to-do list to play with this hammer. Or to get one, basically. I know how things work. That's not... We need to go. I know you were going to destroy my shield. I didn't like it. Cat, I'm going to be forced to ignore your plights. I'm sorry. I don't want to, but when you start sitting on, like, every wire in the entire house, that's when I gotta be like, yo, just calm thyself, kitty. It's okay. I mean, the blaster does do some decent damage, but you just wake up from sleep and die. Is that what happened there? I just wasn't paying attention. Maybe it was on fire. I don't know. The mysteries of Spiral Knights. The most complex game written in the most complex language. I have a purring cat on my lap. I feel way more serene. Okay. Beautiful. Lashadki? Russian, right? I don't know. I've never used to be in here. Besides picking up the blue stones. So let's look toward our personal Spiral Knights long-term goal. Besides sharing the philosophy and things I'm learning every day, playing the game for casual fun, wanting to get all the neutral weapons, maybe that could be our goal. I do want a Turbillion. It just looks too cool, man. That was amazing. This guy's freaking ninja. It's hard not to want to get one. I know Vanaduke's probably on our to-do list for like tomorrow. I'm coming, man. I get it. I've been in the burning syndrome before. You know, but for endgame, you saw they did do some updates. So we'll look for some gates with some treasure troves. We'll look for the impossible. We want tough, just to say we've done it. Right? That makes sense. Complaining about tough stuff in the game. I don't know if they're, that's the thing about the forums. I think, honestly, they're strongly biased to people that, I only check certain channels, that do lockdown, because lockdown is hype. There's social interaction that's roughly forced if you want to play that element of it. In the arcade, not so much. You can play this whole game without talking to anybody. Blah, blah. Did it. Actually, I think it's Sprite did it. Do you have a Shadow Sprite? Dude. Got twinsies. Freaking love twinsies. Kablam. Alright. We get right into the fire. Good job. But shadow layers, that's on my to-do list, because that just seems fun. You know, it's semi-roguelite, right? It's a general MMO. You get better stuff to get better stuff. That way you can fight the things that drop better stuff, and eventually you hit a point of like a plateau where you get all the Black Cat gear, and then you start doing things for, you know, just to say you did, like Zeddy's friend Skeptic Raven, who he did all the gunner armors and stuff. That's a lot of radiance, man. All the gunner armors, that's extreme. Did we? I was not paying attention. Nope, did not. Alright. Blah, blah. It's one of the most simplistic levels. So Khan so far was actually a really big topic. He just went over a lot of it was very easy to summarize him. Put it that way. We don't need to go up there. Unless you really want to. I won't stop you, buddy. I mean, radiance in these prestige levels would be pristine. Game got so much easier with this brand discharge, though. It's ridiculous. No guild, huh? Just a lone cat warrior. Fire and shock. That's right. I know from my LD experience, they so many people have so many alts, so you can never tell who's who. Plus, I think the name changing thing was actually the worst idea. The internet is anonymous as it is. Disassociating people from what they get. Like, why don't people change their name all the time in reality? Because we're held accountable for who we are. And then why don't you just go change your social security number, get a fresh start? Well, that's where the internet teaches you false things. And you gotta, again, be careful. Be careful with that. I'm saying you quit the internet because anonymousness is bad. It separates you from your character. If you spend too much time on it, like our pastor popped that thing up in the his last sermon. The average person spends 9 minutes a day thinking. I hope to increase that if you're watching this. Spend some time in your mind. Spend some time in reflection. Spend some time regarding your own personal purpose. Spend some time on the infinite. If you said you have studied all there is to study, and you found yourself wanting, usually you've just kind of passed over worldviews that seem perhaps difficult, or usually it's a strong version of, how did Frank Turek put it? It's usually like a reference toward sex in general, like denying your hormonal impulses. That's a strong denier of anything that holds anybody to a moral standard, because it goes from a theonomous, heteronymous, autonomous nature. And I'll just pardon me, I didn't see that gravestone. Brief review for those that haven't heard that one before. A theonomous culture believes that there are 3 types of nations. That God is so apparent, like morality, right? Written on people's hearts, that people will go by this. We understand these rules to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, endowed by their creator with a certain, like, it's self-evident. So that's theonomous. We've gotten away from that. There's heteronymous nation, where the few at the top dictate morality for those below. So the Shiite law, which is in I didn't even see it, which is in Saudi Arabia, that would be heteronymous. They tell you the few at the top tell you when to fast, what to do, what is acceptable as far as clothing wear, who can drive, etc., etc. Then there's an autonomous nature. The autonomous nation says that it is up to a person to decide their social values and what is good and what is right, etc., etc., etc. So usually when the Christian perspective says, I don't believe that a bad Christianity, follower of Christ, not only judges, well, by the way, we are called to judge. The whole thing about judge not is actually, the postscript is telling you how to judge, lest ye be judged by the same standard they judge. Rather, remove the plank from your own eye first, and then take the plank out of your brother's eye. It's actually an account of how to judge. We have to make judgments. Otherwise, here, drink this, there's arsenic in it. Oh, I'm not supposed to judge if it's really bad for me or not. I mean, if you take it to the ultimate extreme, it's ridiculous. So you have to be cognizant of that stuff. By the way, I forgot which prestige mission we were doing. Probably shouldn't have chose the sleep bomb, but that's alright. I know. You're a beautiful kitty. You distract me from deep thought by just being adorable. Anyway. I forget where that was going. Why am I shooting the candle? We need that. Thanks, buddy. Blah, blah. I find myself fortunate to have this sword right now. I think if I... Whoa, I felt good. Like jumping into cold water. So anyway, it's good to reflect. It's good to think and use your mind a bit. If you're not spending time using your mind, well, then that's when the instinctual urges kick in. And a lot of things, which I already went over in this video, kind of uphold. One of the things that God does, that has given us the ability to choose, and He honors our choice. That's the whole concept of hell. Hell is separation from God. You don't want to be part of God's world. You don't want to be part of a place where there are absolutes. Then that is fine. But you are not given the opportunity to separate yourself from the entailment or the consequences of your actions. Right? You want to murder somebody, that is fine. But you're going to... I mean, it's not fine, sorry. There's laws put into place to prevent this. But it is certainly in the realm of possibility, right? Everything that can be feasibly thought within the realm and rules of this world could technically be done, but we tend to forget a lot of the times that we suffer the entailments of our actions. Like my daughter's not listening to me, which I believe has to be enforced. Oh, we got some radiance, boys. I believe it has to be enforced. It sets a good standard for the future. For listening to your boss, potentially. Why must you listen to your boss? Why can't you do what you want to do? Why can't my will be quantified and asserted? What about me? What about my self-improvement? And that's where you get the assumption without working for... Oh, where did you come from? It was just a good hit. Can't even lie. Sometimes I get blind to my own stuff. Alright, this guy's trying. Let's go help him out. I'm coming. The Shadki. Time is in Russia. How many Russian Spiral Knights players do you think there are? I don't check Steam charts. Ever. I think I did once in my life. And I think it was for a different game. I think it might have been for Brawlhalla. I wasn't, too concerned about it. If I like a game, I'll play it. I like this game. I think it needs more updates, but I mean, sometimes things just reach an end point. You got to be satisfied. So there's the quote that I got. I think it was it was a book I read on evangelism, out of all things. It's like those that do the work or are interested in improvement will tend to refine their methods. Those that don't do the work and are interested in just the reward and not getting better will tend to critique the methods of others. And you can see that a lot everywhere on our forums, right? People make all these suggestions. Why aren't you listening to me? Like, has anybody ever thought to, just, I'm going to go learn programming and see if I can, pop my skills up there and make it better? No, that's work. Who would want to do that? That's crazy. Beautiful. You've done it. Let's get rid of this dude. I think that works. Yes. Come forth, little kitties. Kablam! There we are. So far, so good. They're shocked, they're asleep. What more could you want out of life? I like taking we can take the oddness in this game, right? What are we doing? What exactly are we doing? Oh, I just push that dude into him. Can you turn around and face me? Well, we just went down to the core basically, and he said, go back up. I don't need you. Just do whatever you think. Oh, right into it. Just freaking genius every step of the way. We need more sleep bomb. No, sleep bombs aren't used enough. I guess you can't put turrets to sleep. Makes sense. Alright, a little bit of HP, please. So we can be lit on fire later. No, that was not number 5. Freaking fat finger the crap out of that. I'm coming. One at a time. Dude, the Shadkey is just a freaking mass murderer. I can't even keep up. Look at all these shields. I could have just sat down. Ah! It might have been done faster. Come on. Please. I didn't even get a level of heat. Boo! We got 3 rats, though. Wasn't a total loss. Oh, meow meow. There should be a reason why you wake up every day and you look forward to something at least. Like this is where the eternity in our hearts comes in. Oftentimes you plan for the future, right? Whether it be future bills or future, even if you're planning for your own, post-mortem. We use these freaking things for that. These freaking things. Pages. I probably should get an account of that. It's normal. Oh, it's the cookie. Okay, enjoy. People come and go, man. It's you. Check out that expensive costume. You seen this boy? Man. I don't even know your gender. A-neutral, right? Glorious. Hello, cat. Welcome back. You left and you came back. You don't have all the achievements? There's lockdown. Oh, let's do it. Let's end the video bitter and unhappy. You're watching my stream. Nethrum's gender is Nethrum. He's his own being. He's ascended. Cat, no matter how many times you bark, I'm still gonna call you Cat. I know I gave you a name, but you're adorable. So last time, to give a fair shake of lockdown, or I don't know how fair you want to make it, I had a what do we have? Like 2 AT Acheron Polaris. Oh, one was Polaris. Sorry, what was his name? I forget. We should probably look and see who's there. Nobody. They're different people. Mecha AT's in there. That's okay. So untiered with costumes. I mean, at this point of the game, besides bringing up that debate before, why not? I mean, everybody is 5-star anyway. Might as well wear the costumes there. My thing with lockdown is I just play the bomber anymore. I got 3 weapon slots, so I should probably take advantage of that, right? I do have the sleep bomb, the blaster. And my lap is your pillow, cat. Just enjoy. Alright. He tried. It's Mecha. Official account. Alright. Well, it's gotta be official. Asian Plato? Is that you? And dude, I have a longing. I always have a longing to get Vogue gear. Something about it, man. It's just like if you can dominate with Vogue, good for you. There's your ASI. You're the man. I can't. Tino's Ranch. Did I see another one with Tino's Ranch? Like the dude that... Maybe that was the guy that was right outside talking to me. Sorry, looking at me. Right when I spawned after the Prestige mission, I don't know. Is there anything else you want to go over about Kant? Kant. One thing Kant does not do is tie in the absolute singularity of God with the self-referencing good, because God has to be self-referencing. He gives meaning in himself, and goodness comes of him. Goodness in itself, in a vacuum, just like it's the same as gravity. Gravity can exist, sure. Gravity is still a thing. And any thing, any concept, has to have an agency and an origin. Or the greatest miracle in the Bible and Scripture, and then in science, I don't know, like 5,000 years later, which we discovered and then popular science tried to deny, is that the universe had a beginning. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth and said, "Let there be light." light a measurement of time. And when, like, so that's the first thing, you know, that got created. The formula for light that's involved with light involves time also. So if you break light, you break time. This game might go on for a little bit. Let's watch our Asian Play-Doh. Just, I guess, walk over corpses all day because they can't seem to find a blue player. Yeah, they still get caps. Yeah. We are 1v1. Dude, where's the personal pride in this game anymore? Does I'm guessing players like Epic Legend Knight still play because this is the game where their computers just make them absolutely excel to a ludicrous point. Why would you ever give that up? Why would you ever play a game where you might, you basically will never lose? There's a lot of good answers to that question. Still, I'm looking forward to the shadow layer. So let's take a. I mean, we can take an account of what we got here. Where did my mouse go? Dude, having two screens sometimes blows my mind up. You should see the sound suppression thing I got set up here. Dude, we gotta roll. We're out of here. I don't have time for this stuff. I know we should save money. But it's been so long. I haven't had my fix in months. A punch fix. And we're going to be looking for radiance. We're going to be, you know, probably diving into Vanna here and there. So, you know, why wouldn't we? Just throw an occasional 20 grand out the window. You know, in the words of the two aliens who ran for a Republican Democrat, gambling is bad. You were right. But gambling with virtual currency? Can you justify that? Mike, what do you think? Good boy. He said no. I don't know what that means. Doesn't think. But Mike is at that point where he never has to eat again. Good for you, man. I suppose, dude, I saw the end of, is it Wreck-It Ralph 2? When they keep giving pancakes to the bunny. Oh my goodness, man. That was like, oh, so traumatizing. Like, we can go Griffin. I think that might actually be where I'm going with this. Because I use this gun even in lockdown, like, a lot. Probably not. Probably not, though. Wintergrave's basically sorted. I rolled on that. There's no way. Ever rolling on any proto-gun? Yeah, sure. There's a Prismatech Alchemer. I think I'm going to make that, yeah, obviously a Nova driver eventually. So damage, man. We got to be our iced. I-E-A-S-T. That is our goal for that one. Sudaruska. Yeah, I'm probably going to keep that as it is, too. Never rolling on that. Never going to give. That's a future Acheron. Future, obviously, what is it? Glacial Brandish? Or Glacial Edge? I don't know. So we have the Cascal. Forgot how beautiful this headgear was. What else we got? Like, this cloak probably will never be touched. Thank goodness we have Pierce Max. I think that I was eventually going to make a cloak, but that's when I got this, right? If I'm not mistaken. Oh, meow, meow. Coffee at you. And I think, well, we should probably get another shield if we're going to do a shadow layer. That's tough. Being able to absorb like 2 hits might be ideal. But I think I'm gonna go for my Griffin, man. It just makes a lot of sense. The Griffin or the Nitronome, and I'd like, that's, Nitronome would be, I don't know. I have visions of being like a Striker Bomber with a Nitronome. Construct high, huh? We did it. Worth every penny. I saw somebody did post on the forums that the average cost. ASI Max Zapper, there you go. It did cost like 39k energy if you math it out. You just disturbed nature, Nethrum. I don't know about that. I don't know what I think about you now. Now you're standing on a bird's head. Is nature your toy? Going back, don't worry. I just forgot what I had here. Oh, we made it. What's that? These bombers are already in. Oh, it's ramparts. Dude, I love this level. We'll see what happens, though, right? This is where you got to gauge the flavor of your lockdown area. We will be bombing with a hail driver. I probably should have made a loadout that had, pardon me, different, holy crap. There's a lot of people here. Probably should have made a loadout that had something a little bit different to offer, but that's alright. Sleep hail. We got it. Hey. You can find my stream. I'm not gonna self-grandulize myself that much. Stop the rock. Can't stop the rock. You can't stop the rock. You've established this. You only have 2 weapons, but I think they're pretty viable weapons. One freezes, obviously. And then we have our combo, the freeze sleep combo, where we get an infinite freeze. Obviously, I try to play the tactician when at all possible. I try my best not to go for damage. I don't think it's I don't need that kind of personal pride issue, but holy crap, dude. Maybe we just play with the hail driver for a minute. Freeze vortex. Do I have that? Do I have a vortex? I don't know. And that's the other question. Like, is it worth going all the way back there? We did it. Hello. We did it. We just keep doing it. Blah. This is why how we try to win wars. Bam. Yep. Get the Akron dude first. And then we're the only one in here. We got the heathen though. Oh, there's our Polaris, right? I heard someone say before they don't Polaris unless there's a bomber. Oh, jeez. Yeah, all I had to do was blink. There goes my frame rate, and then I die. That is the official account goddess. There's my life with the low process speed plus Java. If I had a better like, it doesn't matter how much RAM you put in this beast. If I get close to people, I just see nothing for about 60 frames, and then I die. Probably one of the reasons I am the worst swordsman in history. You gotta be kind of, have the frame on par to see the people that you're fighting. Oh. We're coming. We're coming. I know my graphics ain't the best. They are not. They are not. I like the recon action. Dislike my frame skips. This is the nature of Java. We don't have this issue outside of lockdown. Guess, dude, Nethrum gives the best advice. Guess where people are and you might hit them. I think I can do this. Thought that would have hit him. I guessed. But you're right. I forgot about the concept of May. I may hit that. Let's just give this guy... Oh, just kidding. Hoopla. We did it. Hoopla. It's him. Oh, we got him. Dude, we're going for damage with the first charge. Hey. There you are, my beautiful bomb. I got him. I got him. You guys don't have to do much. I might not have him. Not anymore. It's a nice dodge. Can't even deny it. Probably will get killed by a random, like Arcana shot. That's the popular gun the kids use these days, right? So we're getting some action here at this point. Got you, buddy. Trapeze. You got this. Oh my goodness, that was one heck of a shot. So this is when you throw the whole AT aspect in there and all that, you know, frustration kind of comes in. But then again, we're winning. So what am I complaining about? Again, that's where you put the quantifiable goodness in there with personal pride. What's the point of playing Lockdown if you know it's so broken? Iron Slug. I don't have one. I just got a Winter Grave. Why are these like X's instead of like yellow? Let's just get in there. Oh no, not anymore. We'll just be mortar fire. Yeah, good job. Shoot the switch. Shoot it harder next time. We're going. It's a slow crawl. 2 frames a second. We got this. They are pushing. Kablam. Hoop. No. 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 I can't hit him. He's too good. Help. Alright, we did it. I gotta get to work and all that. Went. See that 4K damage? Freaking did it all by ourselves. Good job, Robot War. Don't make me spam the number sign, exclamation point out of your face. Mr. Fly. You are a gorgeous individual. Good night, Nethrum. It's actually morning for me, 4:45 in the morning. Anyway, once again, thanks for watching. We guys enjoyed these couple matches. If you're on YouTube, click the like button, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. More philosophy tomorrow. I don't know who we're talking about tomorrow. I got through Kant. Took an extra like half-hour reading. Because it's just a maze of thought and logic, not like you know, I used to just like short-term math because it was easy to do back in the day, but hey man, the older I get, the more I dive into philosophy and meaning. And you, like at the tail end of your life, if you're listening to this and you're a young man or woman or whatever, you know your immortality. You know your end is going to be coming up eventually. War and death and pestilence and unfairness and poverty and famine, they do nothing to stop this. It's part of our life. You have to know this. So if you're not doing at least a little bit, and I'm not talking about freaking Facebook referencing and the whole hate and mockery that comes up with every religion, you know, things that are condescending. The enemy of truth is hate and mockery. You're not trying to get toward truth. You're just making yourself feel better at the expense of somebody else. That is not proving anything. Dive toward truth. I am a Christian because of a reason. The evidence in history and the philosophical reason, and there's no other way, in my view anyway, you can't muscle your way into heaven. You can't muscle your way into eternity, but eternity is written on your heart. And there's no causation of the universe besides a singularity, something that's outside of time. Like, and I can go, well, there's a lot more reasons than that, besides the evidence in children that you can see. But anyway, pull a wildfire and permafrost ready whenever. Mecca. Why you gotta be like that? I mean, if you want me to... That's one way to kick me out of lockdown, I guess, is by spamming the Polaris lines. Anyway. I'd strongly advocate looking toward truth. And I'm going to keep playing this game and just talking about what I'm learning and all that, too. Right now, I'm just diving into modern philosophy, so it's going to be deep thinking, mostly on a non-theological level. And that's kind of where I go to anyway, because I believe in the sense of oddness. It's written on everybody's heart to want to do this. But anyway, if you separate people from ideas with the assumption that people are special and they can reason, and you look to dissect the idea rather than the person, separate yourself from identity politics. You know, I am a white male. I will never understand a black female. Forever, period. Therefore, why should we even talk? That's a false number. We are creatures of reason. We can reason our way there. We can understand pain. We can understand disappointment. To say we cannot is like saying that a telephone pole doesn't exist just because it's further away. And that's just a denial of reality. Alright, we understand these things. Anyway, follow me if you're on Twitch, all that good stuff, and I'll see you next time. Take care.